I wanted to take a moment to show in real time like what healing looks like, specifically after a traumatic experience. Many things are simplified or even glamorized, and it's not very accurate. I recently moved back home from living in Los Angeles, and it was a very hard experience for me living out there, and having to come home was really, really hard. And I'll talk more about my experience in Los Angeles in my first video of the season if you want to hear more about that, but that's not what this is about. This is about like the actual process of healing from a traumatic experience. And what I have observed with my peers is this time has been really tough for many of us. I understand that I finished my Saturn return, so it was just a impactful experience living in Los Angeles, and having to come home because I just felt like my dreams were crushed, and I'm still processing that. And there's some drumming in the back of that. If you hear that, I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but anyway, what I was saying was I've been observing my peers and their stories, and we are all going through so much. And my Saturn is in Aquarius, so Aquarius is like everybody sign. It's about the collective and everything, and so it just seems like everybody's going through a Saturn return where these major questions of like what's going on, like the life is falling apart type of vibe because of just so many different scenarios. It just seems like so many of us are going through this major life transition, no matter how old we are or what our life used to look like. It's just these major transitions that are out of our control. And so I just wanted to share my current experience. I have good days, I have bad days. It's not even good days or bad days. I have moments where I feel more present and more grounded and more clear, and the other days I feel a lot of pressure of what is happening. That's with my experience. Because with my experience, I put so much effort into this dream and this goal, and it did not work out, or at least it didn't go according to my plan. And I'm having a hard time dealing with that. I really am. Even with understanding that everything happens for a reason and God protected me, and I understand it on a theoretical level, but I don't always feel that in my heart. I'm just really dealing with feeling unsupported by God, unsupported by the universe, dealing with feeling like my prayers are not being answered. It's a very hard process for me, and I've been told that I'm hard on myself, and I'm working through that because I genuinely don't always see how I'm being hard on myself. I look at it as accountability, honesty, and awareness. But it isn't always that. It's me being hard on myself, adding more pressure to myself. I've been very intentional about my healing process, from fasting to exercising to prayer to meditation, etc., etc., etc. And it has helped. I feel lighter, but the weight of my experience was so heavy that I'm still not all the way right. I'm still not all the way myself. I'm really not, and I have to be honest about that. And I get upset sometimes because I'm like, okay, I've got to move on, but like I'm just not, and I still have questions for God to answer. Questions that it just would take time for the answer to come. And I just share that for somebody out there because I understand that so many of us are going through many really hard transitions, or we just finish a hard transition, or whatever the case may be. And it's like, this life thing really is a marathon, and it really is a process, and it's a process within a process, and you got to process the process. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. And sometimes it feels unrelenting and just never ending. And that overwhelms me, because it just makes me feel like, what is the point? Then I just go on a downward spiral. So I'm just like learning a few things in this moment. Learning how not to be hard on myself. I'm still working to figure that out. I don't got no answers for that. How not to be hard on yourself. If you got some answers, like, let me know, or some suggestions. One thing, I just got done talking to my friend, and she was just telling me certain things about like not adding so much pressure on myself, because I'm like, ready to start working and stuff, and I'm ready to have some money. So yeah, she was just like telling me like not to add so much pressure to myself. But yeah, if you got some advice on how not to be hard on yourself, I would love to hear. And just overall, like, I really appreciate it if you guys comment. And it's not, yes, it helps with algorithm and stuff, but like, when I'm making these videos, I'm talking to y'all, and y'all feel me talking to y'all and stuff. But like, when y'all watching it, I just see numbers on the screen. Like, I don't know how y'all feel, if you feel anything. So if you do have something to say, like, I would really appreciate it. Just like, I would like a dialogue. It's not even just like, oh, I like your video or whatever. I mean, if you want to say that, that's cool. But like, if something like sparks an idea in you, or you have a question, or just anything, like any type of dialogue or feedback, or just whatever, like if you have something to say, like I would love to hear it. Yeah, and likes and subscribe, those things really do help, and I do appreciate it. But like, I really want my channel, specifically this show, to be a space that sparks conversation. Yeah, it like really encourages dialogue, and it's just all about enhancing our perspective. That's like the whole point of this show. So just wanted to add that or whatever. But yeah, like during this process of healing in this moment, I'm working on not being so hard on myself and staying encouraged. And honestly, my faith has really been tested, and I honestly I'm not able to go straight into full-blown belief. My faith has been tested to the point that believing in my dreams all the way is just too much of a task for me right now, to be honest. Like, it feels forced, because I have so much evidence to prove that it's not true. So I'm just working on just staying encouraged enough to do the day-to-day. Yeah, because I'm such a grand person. I have a lot of Sagittarius in my chart. So I think big, I do big, I move big, I just big, large capacity. And I feel like I'm just not up for that right now. I'm really not. And it does feel against my nature, but also it's just like, I'm just not at capacity to dream so big. So I want to get back to that, because I feel like that's my true nature, but I'm just like not there right now. And I don't feel like being hard on myself. Like, oh, think bigger. I'm just like, you just gotta do day to day right now. Like, cause it's just too much. It's too much to handle. It's too much to process. This time has made me realize that I don't want to keep putting my happiness in front of me. Meaning, I don't want to keep being like, oh, well, once I get this, then I'll be okay. Or once this happened, I'll be okay. And like, yeah, I realized that I need money and things like that. But I've had money before. And once my basic needs were met and I was able to, get a few things, like some clothes and stuff, my happiness really didn't increase. So now I'm really learning like how to be happy with challenges, because I've accepted that challenges are always going to be here. As long as I'm alive on earth, I'm always going to have some type of challenge. So I don't want to keep being depressed about my challenges. So yeah, I'm just learning how to be happy with challenges. And by happy, I mean have inner peace, have inner joy, like have my smile within my heart. I know what that feels like. I mean, I've never been rich, you know, and I never, like, my dream hasn't come true yet, but I've been happy before, felt more fulfilled. So learning how to do that now, learning how to release bitterness, being upset, and learning how to recognize how I am supported. Because that's like that was like the biggest thing from my experience, my traumatic experience, was feeling unsupported by God. So I'm learning in the process of recognizing how I am supported in these moments, and like learn how to feel supported, not just see it on a theoretical level or on an intellectual level, but really like feel supported. And I pray to feel supported, because that's something that I'm really working on, because I don't always feel supported, especially in terms of my dreams. Like, it's just been really hard. And I'm working on not feeling so alone in this journey. That's why I mentioned, like, I've observed that many of my peers have been going through major transitions, and that does help me, because I just felt so alone. Like, why is my life falling apart? Why am I at such a crossroads? And then recognizing that many of my peers are also at a crossroads, it does help just to know that I'm not alone. But that's been a part of the process too, the process of healing, feeling alone, feeling unsupported. So many questions, and many of my questions are still unanswered. They've been answered for years. They have been unanswered for years. And it's been really hard. Yeah. So, yeah. I get really tired. Physically tired. And then sometimes I get upset that I'm tired, because it's like, we have things to do. We have to take over the world. And I just feel like, what's the point? Why didn't y'all tell me my lip gloss was looking like that? I'm not about to re-record. Like, I barely wanted to do this video. I actually wasn't even going to do this topic. I just started to just record, because I'm like, my energy is not at the place it needs to be to do the other topic. So, but consistency. And I also been working on, that's another part of the process. I've been working on like channeling my energy into something not just productive, but just more beneficial. So like, if I'm feeling upset, which I often do, I'll like, let me go for a walk, or let me take a nap, or let me take a bath, or let me just do something. Let me utilize this energy in a different capacity. Let me write, or let me go cry, or let me go pray, or let me just do something. I don't want to just like sit in it, you know? That makes any sense. Even with the crying, it's like a releasing of it. But I was like, I had a whole nother topic, and I'll just do that next week or whenever. I'm like, I just was like looking at the footage, and I'm like, my lip gloss was, but I'm not re-recording. Yeah, healing, in the process of healing. It looks like many different things, ups and downs, lighter moments. This is a more heavy moment. Past few days have been a little heavy. Not quite sure what's going on in the sky. It is, at the time of this recording, Gemini season, which is in my 12th house. So, I guess those hidden fears. It's such a fun time. I'm having a great time with life right now. It's like highlight reel. Yeah, but yeah, healing, ups and downs, ebbs and flows. I guess it's just life. But after a traumatic experience, it's like you just got out of battle, And then the first phase of the healing was I got out of battle, and then I realized how wounded I was. It was like, oh my gosh, I done got shot, stabbed, and set on fire. I didn't even know how hurt I was because I was just fighting. You know, in your survival mode, you're just focused on surviving. You don't even realize or recognize all the areas of pain, all the areas of trauma. So that was the first thing, was just feeling everything and just recognizing just how hurt I was. And I think this current phase is like, okay, we've addressed the wounds, but now we like in rehab. So I gotta like learn how to walk again. I feel like I'm at that phase. It's like, okay, we're no longer bleeding out, but yeah, I gotta like start all over. I am starting over. I'm starting a new life. It's a new me. I have to rebuild. And from my old life, some things I want to keep, and a lot of things were taken away. So, and I'm not gonna try to bring them back. So it's a lot of rebuilding, and it's mainly a rebuilding of my inner world. I mentioned earlier about like my smile again. Like I want to just get that back and hold on to it way tighter. Like I never want to lose that again. So that's the main thing I want to rebuild, my inner happiness, my optimism. Baby, that was burnt to a crisp. I used to be one of the most optimistic people I knew, and now not so much. So I want to get that back and strengthen it and hold on tight, anchor it. Yeah, but this phase, we learn how to walk again. So we gonna learn how to fly, but right now we gonna learn how to walk. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. So that's enough. I'm good. That's enough of my feelings. Oh, and new me is more vulnerable. Fun? Question mark? Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in to Upshaw. Like, comment, and subscribe. I was for about that comments. Like, if you got something to say on this video or any other video, like, holla at your girl. I like to talk. Talk to me, I talk back. Yeah, like, subscribe, help the algorithm. Your girl want to be monetized, you know. That'll make me feel better. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.